This is TWiT.
You cover crypto. I just got a new book from Andrew Chow of Time Magazine about crypto, which I'm actually kind of enjoying. And you mentioned that Andrew had just written a piece for Time about a small town in Texas, Granbury, Texas, which has to listen to the nonstop roar of Bitcoin miners. Wow. They've taken over.
The piece is called "We're Living in a Nightmare."
Yeah.
Inside the health crisis of a Texas Bitcoin town.
This is what Benito, our producer, calls late stage capitalism. Exactly. The funny thing is, from the industry perspective, this is a good thing. Texas Tribune quotes Lee Bratcher, president of the Texas Blockchain Council. Did you know there was such a thing? He says, so we need more price-sensitive loads on the grid, not less. By locating in rural areas with too much power and not enough transmission capacity to get that power to major population centers, cryptocurrency mining is using power that otherwise would go to waste. Now, here's the problem. They got a sweet deal because they're buying electricity before it goes into the electricity market. Texas has a very odd power setup. They have something called ERCOT, where the electricity is kind of sold on the open market. And they get, because they're pre-ERCOT, the Bitcoin miners get electricity for 2.5 cents per kilowatt hour, while the average price in Texas is more than 10 cents. So, as you pointed out, Molly, this is actually a profit deal for these guys, separate from the Bitcoin mining, because what they do is they operate at night when the electricity is cheap, and this is what Lee Bratcher is celebrating: power down during high power demand times like hot afternoons in the summer or winter cold snaps, and sell their electricity back at a profit.
Yeah, it's almost kind of extortionate. There was a period of time last summer, and it happens pretty much every summer now, where some of the miners in Texas actually made more money from not mining Bitcoin than they did from mining. Like, it was more profitable for them to shut down and sell the electricity.
Wow.
But of course, it means that people in Texas who are struggling to pay their electricity bills are facing, higher and higher electricity prices. But yeah, I mean, what you mentioned before is part of this effort by the cryptocurrency world, especially among Bitcoiners who have reacted to the story that, Bitcoin is bad for the environment because it's so energy intensive. They've really tried to flip the script a little bit and say, no, Bitcoin is actually good for the environment because it uses so much electricity. And there's like this sort of crazy mind game that goes into it that is like, oh, it's, incentivizing more electricity generation and stuff like that. But it's pretty flimsy.
This is the same logic. We were talking about this on Sunday that Bill Gates uses when he says all the power that AI is using, that's good because it's encouraging folks to come up with green ways to create power. And of course, Bill Gates' big green way to create power is his new nuclear power plants that he's building in the Midwest.
Yeah, of course, Bill Gates doesn't have to deal with any of the consequences of
he doesn't live next
rising.
door. No.
Yeah. He doesn't live next door to a Bitcoin mine. He doesn't have to deal with the consequences of rising heat levels and water levels or any of the side effects of global warming.
Yeah. Right. Apparently, it is
a lot
against...
of the...
Go ahead, Molly.
I was just going to say, a lot of the arguments that I've seen around the sort of, AI energy use is good are like directly cribbed from the Bitcoin energy folks. So I think there's been a lot of cross-pollination there as far as trying to sort of spin it.
Hey, it's Leo Laporte. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet from our show This Week in Google. For the full show, you can either go to our website, twit.tv/twig, or find Twig in your favorite podcast client. And, of course, there's links right below, somewhere down there, for more information.